Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Mahmoud Abu Shama and I'm making this video to speak about the Toefl, the teaching of English as foreign language examination. And we're talking specifically about the Toefl that you need to do as a person who's trying to become a pharmacist in the United States. So it's as a part of your journey to become a pharmacist. Now, I did make a video about this in Arabic a while ago. Honestly, you guys know I do not represent anybody but myself, and all I say is completely coming out from my experience. So I'm only sharing what I know, so people could probably benefit. If one person could benefit from what I say, that's enough for me. So Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Let's start talking about the exam and what you should expect. I'm going to try to be as you know, as I'm just going to give you the conclusion. I'm just going to give you the key points, and you need to take it from there. I do not want to waste your time, and I'm not just going to take you through loops in which you end up signing up a class or something, because there is no money purpose out of this video or any other video that I made. I'm just trying to share the info that I had. So, to begin with, guys, just to make sure, the TOEFL exam that you do in the US has nothing to do with a TOEFL or the same exam that you have did in your home country if you come from the land or the town where I come from. So I did TOEFL in my country. I did TOEFL in Jordan. It had nothing to do with this. It was scored out of 100, not out of 120. It was too easy. Anybody could pass. It was too basic. It was just basic, you know. But the one that I did here was not basic at all. It was a total different level of English testing. It has nothing to do with the one that I have done in Jordan. So I just want you guys to understand that whatever TOEFL you did back home has nothing to do with what it is in here, okay? I did the exam 3 times. First time I wanted to muscle out the exam. I've been here for 2-3 years, and I thought, you know what, to hell, I can pass. I thought I could pass. I've been in the country for 3 years. I speak the language. I could pass. I didn't. I failed, and I failed in two out of the 4 sections of TOEFL. And I didn't fail bad, though. I failed by like a mark. But the point is, the key that you need to learn here is that it does not matter how good you think you are in speaking the language or how long you've been here. It doesn't even matter if you're a native speaker. If you've been in the country all your life, it doesn't matter, you guys. You have to learn more about what the examination looks like. So I knew that. I was like, okay, well, you know what? I thought I did great, but apparently I didn't, because I didn't pass. So let's do it again, and this time I'm gonna read. I'm gonna, go for resources. Just give this exam a little bit more of a volume. I'm just gonna respect the exam. Let's just put it this way. So I went and I bought the Oxford review for the TOEFL, and gosh, that book was big. It was really big. I think it was like 500 pages. Okay, and it was really expensive too. It was around $90 to buy. Since it's that big and it's too complicated, and just the view of the book was really scary, I promise you guys that I barely spent time on it. The book is still brand new. It's shocking because technically when you're talking about language topics, you don't want to really go so deep in it. You just want to pass the exam, really, So when that book was just presented to me with this size, I right away got pushed away. So I would say that I have read maybe in and out 1 to 2 hours a day for like a week, and then I did the exam again. I failed writing and I failed testing by 1 mark. That's when I got really upset, okay? I was like, okay, well, this is not enough, and there's no way I can read this book. There's no way I can finish this book. This amount of paperwork is just crazy, and I'm not gonna do it. And then so I decided to start looking for the resources that could really help me do this. So what happened is I found those websites in which there's people, tutors, instructors, who technically knows exactly what's going to happen in the exam. And I think they probably do the exam writing themselves. If it's not those people, then someone who does the help with writing the examination questions eventually gets a career at teaching people of how to pass the exams. Just the way it is, you know. If you have the info, then you could either make an exam with it, or you can teach people how to pass the exam with it. That's how you can make money with it. So I think these people somehow are sponsored by the Toefl itself. So I found those websites. It was, by the way, I didn't get no help. It was just based totally on my ability to. I searched it on Google, on YouTube, whatever websites. I just kept looking for websites that could help you with passing the TOEFL, especially when I felt that I could probably have a problem, which was writing. Most people who comes from abroad would have problem more with the speaking section. But if you are from the States, or you've been in a country that speaks the language, Australia, whatever, then you wouldn't have a problem with the speaking as much as you would have with probably writing. Reading and listening are extremely hard too, but hey, it's reading and writing. Like, you just have to subtract the info from a text. So if you God forbid, fail it once, you probably wouldn't fail it again, because it's not that hard. In comparison, I would say it's the most important topics would be the speaking and the writing. Like, those are the cornerstones. Those are where people usually fail. If you were to get the reading, fine, you usually would pass it the second time, because you would know what the topics they talk about, and you just have an idea. But for speaking and writing, you might have a problem. So here is the point, getting back to the point I was talking about. When it came to speaking and writing, you guys, those websites gave me the guidelines on what it is that I needed to look at. What is it exactly that I need to do in the exam? TOEFL is not a test of proficiency. Listen, they're not. I want this to be extremely clear. The point of the TOEFL, people who are trying to pass to become pharmacists, is not to actually see how good you are in a foreign language to handle an everyday task. Absolutely not. The score you're asked for is at least 102. 102 out of 120. You need to get 26 at least in speaking, 26 out of 30, you guys. 24 in writing, and 24 in reading, 24 in I think it's 21 writing or listening, reading, anyway, but the score is extremely high. People who wants to go for masters don't need to get that kind of score. People who wants to go for I don't know, anything other than becoming a healthcare professional, they would not need anything even close to the score you're being asked to achieve as a TOEFL student. So you need to understand that the main point here from you passing the TOEFL when you're trying to become a healthcare professional or pharmacist is to prove that you're extremely highly proficient in the language. It's a high level. It's not a pass or fail. They want you to be a high quality, proficient, extremely amazing in those topics. You're not asked to pass, remember. So you have to change the mentality. Here is the key. When you go to the exam, when you start studying for the exam, make sure that you remember that the point now is for you to be proficient in English. And I would advise you to only care. And the third time, by the way, after, oh my God, I got really distracted. And the third time, when I was doing the TOEFL, and I did follow those websites, which I will be sharing in this video, and I did do all the practice tests they want, exactly the way they said. I literally put myself in a classroom with these guys on their videos on YouTube, did exactly what they say. And when I went to the exam, guys, for the first time, I did exactly what they said. I knew exactly what was coming in the exam, and I passed. And I wasn't surprised. I came out, I was like, I know I'm passing. Like, everything they said is everything I did, and everything I did is everything they asked me for in this exam. So the first two times I was wasting my time, you guys, because sometimes all the times, you need to understand the roadway. You need to understand the road conditions in which you will be driving for you to drive easily on it. If you know exactly how it's gonna look, then you can pass it. It's as simple as that. No surprises, no failures. So my advice to you, to summarize everything that I've said in this video really quick. First, do not get distracted by big books. Second, do not think that you can out-muscle this exam or any exam in the whole process of getting your license, pharmacy license. 3, go to these links and do exactly what they say, exactly how they say it, and keep practicing. Repetition is a key. This is not a scientific topic. Here, there's no science that you get to learn something new every time. That's not the case. Keep repeating. That's how your tongue gets better and your mind becomes more efficient in responding in English to things. So just keep repeating. TOEFL needs repeating. Follow the guidelines that you're provided by the tutors, and you will pass. Good luck.